Hello everyone, I am Mahesh Calavai and I lead digital and AI technologies at TVS Motor and Group companies. Over the last few years, AI has really become integral in our lives. And it is indeed a pleasure to talk about how I see AI in the industries that we are in through our conversation at AI-ism today. Of course, when you think of AI in an industry such as mobility, the first thing that comes to most of our minds is autonomy and driver assist systems. While that is true and absolutely critical, there are several other applications. So let's look at some of those. We as consumers have now become used to conversational AI when we look at product purchases online and our mobile phones. And we have a different application of that. So we have conversational AI enabled in our vehicles. So customers engage with us through our vehicles and we are able to actuate their commands. Another application of voice or sound AI in general comes in our machines, right? We leverage noise, voice, and heuristics and understand, therefore, how machines perform. For example, we look at our engine noise vibration, heuristics, and harshness to then determine whether the engine assembly operations have been done well. And these are places where we leverage not just AI as artificial intelligence, but augmented intelligence, where we leverage supervised algorithms of when experts tell us what kind of build is good in VH versus not, right? Talking about manufacturing, another application of AI is using computer vision. We look at computer vision and the AI associated with it to understand, again, similarly, quality defects that may happen in our painting operation or in packaging when we send our goods to the countries, or in a completely different industry we are in residential real estate, to look at construction quality defects. So you see how computer vision and conversational AI are applicable in some of these industries. Right? Now, continuing the train of thought forward, the key implication of leveraging AI from AI that we are familiar with, which is large-scale digital native consumer applications, to some of these examples that I quoted, is moving from large monolithic AI to data-centric AI and a network of AI algorithms that come and make all of this possible together. Let me give you a different example. Let's take the same customer journey that we're all familiar with, but in the automotive use case, right? Automotive is still largely a phygital purchase journey where discovery of vehicles of choice and interest are happening online, but the final act of purchase by customers is still inside a dealership, right? And oftentimes, a vehicle purchase also has retail finance or loans involved, right, where customers take loans. If you look at where we are today, we have, of course, conversational AI. We have recommender systems in our dealerships for our dealer staff. We have leveraged AI in underwriting algorithms to be able to provide the right loans to our customers. But they're all distinct AI pieces. And the way forward for us is to connect all of this to provide a personalized customer experience through all these facets of a customer journey, whether it is physical or digital, whether it involves the automotive purchase or the associated loan purchase. So that's the direction that we're moving in. Another interesting application is looking at reinforcement learning, wherever we have these digital or digital and physical interfaces coming together, such as providing the right recommendations or nudges for our colleagues that work in the dealerships or in sales operations in the field, right? So those are some of the applications that we are leveraging AI in. And they come with challenges, right? So AI is a new industry in a lot of ways. And if we take a step back, there are several things that we will, as practitioners in the AI, have to solve together, come with biases that may be happening in the algorithms. There are questions of ethics and where to employ AI and what choices AI algorithms should make, how safety of AI is also involved in fields such as ours, concentration of power amongst companies that are the haves versus have-nots of today when it comes to having data and algorithmic power. How do we ensure reskilling of folks that are being done at scale and very quickly as AI is becoming pervasive? And then, of course, skilling of practitioners in the AI space and data engineering and data sciences too. So we are doing several pieces, right? When it comes to how we look at data, of course, we look at cloud first, along with GPUs from a algorithm development and deployment standpoint. We also have programs that run along with AI, such as data management and governance, privacy and ethics, that ensure that both the quality of the data that are inputs to AI, and but also the outputs that are governed through privacy, data protection laws, and ethics are also well thought out and executed. Uh, we have several skilling programs as well, not just for the practitioners of AI as data scientists or data engineers, but also other colleagues in our companies, so they understand how AI will transform the processes and the functions they are in, and how they can be co-creators and contributors to our AI programs. Another key piece that we are working on is ensuring reusability and consistency of AI development through software-defined processes like DevSecOps and Agile squads that ensure not just the AI methodology is consistent, but there is traceability, there are good, robust monitoring plans of how our programs perform and the like. Right? So these are some ways we are solving for some of these problems in AI. Of course, as a society and as practitioners, there are several other pieces for us to look at as AI becomes pervasive, as I mentioned, concentration power in a few hands, looking at biases. Most of the AI has come from Western economies. So does that the same considerations and cultural influences hold true as we scale AI to other parts of the world? These are important things that for all of us to solve for together. But beyond me as a practitioner of AI, right, as a consumer, I'm super thrilled, right? As AI matures, not just in terms of how we look at data and algorithms, like the pieces that I talked about, but in terms of making AI chips more powerful and far a lot more affordable. The pervasiveness of AI is going to increase. Plus, there's also a confluence of associated technologies, such as mixed reality, IoT sensors becoming a lot more pervasive, communications becoming a lot more faster. So what it would mean as a consumer for me is I'm thrilled to look at personalized medicine as an example. How AI can be in plethora of toys at home, toys and gadgets at home that can entertain, that can solve for things that are currently repetitive and mundane that I would rather not do. So a lot of things to do, and hopefully, just maybe, AI will also help us understand other species that are existing beyond our own little world, where we may find out that the combination of man and artificial intelligence is just maybe not as superior as what we may find elsewhere. Thank you.